Hello everybody, welcome to Terraria. This is Isle of Cats and this will be the first episode in basically a playthrough, almost like a how-to, and I know that there might be some people watching this that have played it before and they know what they're doing, but you know there's some people who may be watching this who haven't, and you know we've got to cater for everybody really. So what we'll be doing is starting fresh on a new world, and I don't know, just sort of seeing how we go, and really that's about it for now. But let's get going, I guess. We'll create a new character, and where's the name? Oh, we name him next. It doesn't have to be a him, of course. We'll go for some freaky colours. Don't worry too much about the clothes. I like softcore. There's basically you get three options. Softcore, as it tells you, you drop less money. You only drop money. Medium, you drop items, and hardcore, you you just die for good. So I'm not too pro at Terraria yet to hit hardcore mode. And we'll call ourselves Isle of Cats. Isle of Cats, by the way, because if you say it fast, it sounds like what I do. It's I love cats, and we've got 4 of them in the house. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only one on the internet who appreciates cats. They're cool. They take a lot less effort than dogs to look after. So let's get going. So that's our character, and we will play. I've got some worlds here that I've been playing on in my other character, but we'll just create a new one, and I want to start a large one, and like I say, normal, and I don't know, Island of Cats. Okay, so while this is building, basically Terraria is a 2D game, craft in it, and there's bosses to fight, and there's a bit of like fighting action that you can go through, lots of items to pick up, and basically a load of world to explore. Each world that you generate is different, but a lot of them have similar characteristics. There's certain overriding features in every world that's created, as we'll get into. Yeah, it's basically a really fun game. I've been playing it for a few years now. I've got, well, I think Steam is lying to me. It says only 266 hours played. I feel like I've played a lot more than that. I've certainly completed it a few times and had a great deal of fun with it. I still love playing it, and it's definitely up there in my top 5 games of all time, really. Very happy with it, and they're still adding updates to it, which is great. I think there's a new update coming soon to do with sort of electrics and stuff like that. So you can see here the red on the side of the tree, and on this one it's got purple. So one of the sort of overriding aspects of each game is you start in a world where there is like a bad part of the world, if you will, like a corruption in the world, and the purple part of this, we'll get into it when we get into that later, but they're basically called, the red one's crimson and the purple one's called corruption. And you go in there and you have a bad time at the start because the enemies will kill you, and eventually it plays a larger part. But on world generation, as we just did, on world generation, it will assign you a certain bad part of the world. And it looks like we've got crimson. I'm used to playing on corruption. I really like corruption, so it'll be good fun to play on crimson for a change. So let's get going. Cool. So as you can see, here we are in our little world. We start with a copper short sword, pickaxe, and a hammer. A dirt block randomly for some reason. I'm not sure why. And you can see we've got our guide friend here. And you can move around and like slice down through things and basically mold the world to your liking. So what you really want to do first of all, and press control really to activate the smart cursor. Now this, when you've finished chopping something down, it will automatically assign the cursor to the next sort of choppable area. And we're going to collect some wood and kill this slime when it gets too close. Okay. Oh, or get killed by the slime. Okay. And up to the top left, you've got a hotbar, and you can keep your favorite items in there. And if you press escape, you can expand it to your whole inventory and swap things around and the like. I guess at the start, you really just want to chop down a few trees because they'll be useful resources. And we want to build basically it's called a noob cube, a small house where your guide can live. And it has to meet a certain amount of requirements. It has to have a table in there, and it has to have like walls and a ceiling and stuff. But we'll go into that in a bit more detail in a bit. Just collecting this at the moment. Now, you'll see we've got some pots that we can smash open and collect some stuff. There's pots throughout everywhere, and I don't know, there's usually some chests as well around that you can get good stuff out of. So you can see a chest over there, but I can't swim at the moment, so I have difficulty getting over to it right now. But we're just gonna build a house to start with, and I'll get into like the basics of what we're doing. Clear a bit of space. You can see the guide is attacking enemies that come by, which is quite handy. I've got a mad cat going mental behind me. Mittens, no. Okay, so we've got a nice bit of flat land. I'll just fill this in just for anality, I guess. And then we'll get to the crafting menu. So if you open up your inventory, you'll see you've got a crafting menu, and this tells you what you can build with your available items. If you've got an open chest nearby with some items in, you can also use those items, but we'll get into that in a bit. But first and foremost, you want to build a workbench because that opens up some more options for you. And so yeah, you can see straight away, because we've got wood in our inventory, we can build lots of stuff. We've got plenty of wood, so we're going to need, just for the start, we're going to need a couple of wood doors. And you can right click to add more than one. You'll need a couple of chairs and a couple of tables, and then a few torches. Torches there are also useful for exploring underground. That's what we can make. Also, you need them in the houses for NPCs to consider them a residence, if you will. You also need some wooden walls for the background. Now, these run out surprisingly fast, so make sure you build a lot of them. You don't have to use wood, you can use brick. If you have brick here, then brick walls will be available. We're probably going to need to chop some more trees down, so bear with me a second. You can see on the far left there's some ore, and that's useful obviously for building, for crafting weapons and armor, and that looks like a tin. But as you go down deeper into the earth, you'll get better metals and be able to build better armor. Weapons. Eventually you will come across bosses who drop certain more advanced crafting materials, and then eventually you get to a point where the world changes slightly, but this is all, it's all getting ahead of ourselves at the moment. Hang on. Okay, so we've got a good stack of wood. We'll basically just build a cube find 6 high is good. And then we'll just make a long piece at the moment. Okay. So now you've got a frame, you can plonk your door there. Yeah, and then knock out the other side. And then put your other door. Cool. You open this with a right click. Maybe Mr. Guide will come in. We actually need a hammer. I'm not sure we can craft that just yet. Ah, we can. Okay. So the hammer will remove wall, like the backdrop, which you really need to do to get rid of this dirt, so you can put wood down. And again, replace wood with any other material. Cool. So we've got a wood wall, and if you've got your smart cursor on, it will autofill. Otherwise, it takes an age. Sweet. So I'm getting there. You can see the wall is running out really fast. The numbers are decreasing really quickly. I don't think we've got enough to do it, but we've got more wood, so we'll just make some more in a sec. Okay, let's just make a bit more, probably about 40. This is scrolling really slow. I don't know why, if that's because I'm recording or not. Okay, that should do. I'll plug this gap. Okay. Right, so you got your wall down. We'll put a torch here. And a torch here. Now this is gonna initially just house the guide. So this is enough for now, but I do want to eventually house. There's a merchant that shows up when you collect enough money. So you see here, I've currently got 3 silver, 26 copper, and when you get 50 silver, the merchant will spawn and come and live in your world. So just prepare for that. I don't expect them to turn up in the immediate future, but there we go. So that meets the criteria for for the guide to live in. You can see over on your right hand side when you've got the escape, when you've got your inventory open, you can see the housing assignments. So if you click this middle button, you can see the guide icon in the background, and that'll be quite handy later on when you've got multiple NPCs and you're working out which is where or what should be there. And you can also query to see whether it's suitable housing, and this is, I know, obviously the guide's living here. So that's your basic house, and we're coming up to our first night. And your first night is, you know, you need to really prepare, and you should start hopefully by building. Let's see if I've got enough. 25, 55, 75. So I need 15 more wood to build some armor, and I'd like to get some more to build a better weapon. Because this short sword is rubbish. So let's go chop down some wood quickly. I'll grab a quick drink. Okay. Obviously, the bigger the tree, the more you get out of it. That's enough wood right there, but I'll just chop this one down. Just to make sure. Because we've got more gel, which you get from the slimes. So I can make more torches. So you need gel and wood for the torches. Oh, come on. Right. Cool, so me and Levy. Is that a gold coin he's got? No, just copper. We're just going to chill in the house. I'll close this door. If I can. I'm also going to pop another couple of torches in here. Now I know the door's going to be around about there. and around about there when I build them. So I'll just leave those right there. We picked up a healing potion, a mushroom. This there's a whole side of Terraria which involves lots and lots of different ingredients. You'll have lots of chests full of stuff, and each pretty much all serve a purpose. And so it encourages hoarding, really. And there's also this fishing element, which we probably won't get around to in this episode because I just want to make sure we're set up and like we've got a decent weapon. Like we want this wooden sword. It's 25. See if we've got enough. I prefer to have just armor at the moment. And then yeah, we've got enough for the sword, so I'll build the sword. Because it beats the copper short sword. Because the copper short sword is technically better, it does more damage, but you just swing straight ahead. It just prods people basically. Whereas the copper short sword, the wooden sword, chops overhead and will hit things that are coming down from above you. Anyway, so we've got our basic habitation. It's night time. I might go and do a bit of exploration. Put our armor on in these slots over here. Okay. So if you have a full set of something, it will, when you equip them, it will tell you the set bonus. So this one in particular gives me an extra 1 defense, and you can see that we have 3 total defense. Obviously that's starting out and it's expected to be poor, but we'll soon get better. Actually, we'll craft a few more torches, then we'll go for a little expo. Wow, this is really slow scrolling. Max out on torches. There we go, 45. They're really handy as you get into the underground, so you can actually see what you're doing. There's a number of enemies around, as you can see. I can't go this way because of the water. Okay. So this is a demon eye. This will kill me essentially if I let it. So obviously, as we start out, we're pretty weak. You shouldn't let things like this kill us. Sometimes you don't have a choice, really. So we'll just go for a quick wander over here. Dig up this tin. So tin is one of those ingredients that will help you get better over time, but it really is just a starting out ingredient. I just wanted to scout the surroundings. Okay, this guy shouldn't prove too difficult. And I'm sorry if you can't see, but you probably only see me die anyway. Hang on. Yeah, we're getting very close to dying. Okay. There's a zombie here. Okay, this is great. Maybe I will just go straight back to base. And hole up and maybe dig down. Dig a little tunnel down. Okay. I'm going to die. Can I make it? Okay. Cool. So yeah, top right you can see your health. It regenerates slowly unless you put like a campfire down that you've crafted, which is basically just wood and torches. I could craft one now actually, that would help. And we'll put it out here. Roast the zombie alive. No, you're joking. Okay, so I'm just going to dig down and explore around here. Now, Mr. Guide over there is definitely going to fall in this hole if I let him, so let me just block this up. there's also a bit of method to this madness as well. Certain configurations of houses work better than others. When you played it for a while and you've completed the game and you feel a bit more confident, or not even when you've completed the game, when you want to really, you can go all crazy with your houses. But I'm still firmly in the noob cube area. It's just functional. It makes things easy for me. So there you go. I think there's a lot of angst about it. But I don't know, it's relatively easy. And then if you want to later on, you can get creative. And I've seen some, especially if you go to Reddit, there are some amazing like constructions that people have done. Yeah, you should totally check it out. And also, like on the wiki, there's a load of good info, really useful information that. Lost my smokers. Okay. Hey, cutie. Hey, getting bitten by the cat. So yeah, go and check out the wiki if you need any more information. It's the Gamepedia one. There is another one on wiki, but it's not as good. And it tends to use the same sort of information from. Hey, excuse me, Missy. Getting bitten by our youngest, Mittens, her name is. We rescued her, and she seems to be grateful at some times, but most other times she is a pain. Cool. I'm not coming across anything interesting at the moment. You'll generally find that anyway, like close to the surface, there is limited resources in the ground. I'm just really trying to find like a tunnel or something that already exists in the world. Maybe some basic ores. I've got like 5 tin, which isn't enough to build anything with at the moment. Periodically I'm going to place torches. Yeah, periodically I'm going to place torches, not use healing potions. Just so I can see better. Grab another drink. See something here, looks like tin again. So your world basically starts out with tin or tungsten, or no, what is it, tin or copper. These are like the very basic level ingredients. And then next you've got iron and lead. Iron or lead, depending on what the world gives you. And then you have gold or platinum. Obviously, like I say, the closer to the surface you are, the more tin we're finding. We've just got some lead right there. 3 lead is not a great deal again. You need really to be having about 100 at the moment to get what you need, and we're not getting anywhere near that right now. So. Just going straight down here. Now, there is going to be a problem getting back up, but I don't really worry about that at the start. I've got some ropes somewhere in my... Yeah, I've got 200 ropes, but I'm not really caring about how I return from this. Because what we'll do is we'll find... And this looks promising. We'll find an underground area that will have lots of monsters, apparently. Okay. I'll just dig around that. We'll find an underground area where there are chests, and they may have a recall potion in, which will take you back to your spawn point. Your spawn point at the moment, or my spawn point at the moment, doesn't exist. It's kind of the center of the world where you first started. It's going to land right in his head, isn't it? Okay, let's avoid that. Yeah, so the spawn point is automatically the center of the world, where you saw me start, first of all. You can eventually craft a bed This will allow you to right click on it, and you can set your spawn point wherever you want. You can have it underground if you want. More often than not, you're going to whack it in your own house. Just digging around him. I don't really want to face anybody at the moment. Anyway, so yeah, we're slowly progressing. Obviously, a copper pickaxe isn't very good, not very fast. You eventually get like insane equipment that allows you to motor through. Obviously, that's later on in the game. Right now, it's just a constant plod. Picking up actually the stuff that we will keep hold of. I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I'll probably be keeping all this stuff. Maybe not all the blocks, but I'll just find chests to put everything in for later use. Just digging straight down. So the game, the map is pretty much divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. You've got the surface, which is where you start, and that comes down about 200 blocks below the earth. So it still classes as the surface, even though you are there. And then it becomes the underground, and you can see this here. It's changed to the underground. This is actually a wall, and you can place a torch there if there were no walls around. But here, this isn't really a background. It's more I don't know, a parallax image, and you can't place anything on them, and you can't extract them. And okay, we found some ore. Looks like tin, which is good. And then below the underground, you have caverns. Below the caverns, you have the underworld. The underworld is where you basically you have to go at one point, and it will. I'm not going to get into it too much because we will get there eventually, quite slowly at this rate. We will get there eventually, and it's a key part of the game. Above the surface, you have the space area, and in the sky you can find sky islands. Some of them have houses on them, which contain a chest, and some of them just have a lake, which is useful for fishing. We won't go into fishing too much, but it's going to be something that we have to do, so we'll get to it in time. This looks like I'm going to kill myself if I drop into it, maybe. So we'll just skirt around it. Torch. I can see some ore up there, looks like lead. I'm going to grab that, and these pots down here. Glow sticks are pretty cool. Glow sticks, torches won't work in water. Glow sticks, you can chuck them in and they will light up the area. They dissipate over time though, torches will remain. So let's see what we've got. Oh. Yep, see some more enemies around. We're not really going to bother enemies at the moment because I don't think they would cut out for it, but we're really here for resources. We need some metal so we can progress faster, and ideally some sort of accessories. So another part of the game is that you can equip up to 5 accessories. You can equip up to 6, but that's once you move into expert mode and do perform a certain task. Expert, by the way, is just when you're creating a world, you can decide whether you want it to be normal or expert, and expert is just harder. I'm kind of, oh, we got some tungsten. I'm kind of in the middle of a expert world playthrough at the moment. I've not really tried it before. Like I say, I've completed it on normal, no real problems, and I just wanted to make this video not about me dying a lot. And there we go. Right, so yeah, expert mode is just slightly harder. I think that right now I'd really like to sort of go back home. Hang on, well, we've got 14 tungsten lead. No, maybe not. We need to carry on. And eventually we'll come across some oh yeah, what was I talking about? Accessories. And here is a ton of tin. Accessories provide you with certain benefits, like allowing you to swim, so you can press space multiple times in a pool of water and you can go up. At the moment, if I go into a pool of water, I can jump when I get to the bottom, but only about, I don't know, 5 blocks high. And if there's nothing to grab onto, I'm going to drown. There's ways out of it. You can dig down and across and then up to create like a pocket of air which you can breathe. But there is one particular accessory. It's not really an accessory because you don't need to equip it in these accessory slots. Accessory slots are over here when you've got your inventory open. There's an accessory called the magic mirror that allows you to transport home at will, or back to your spawn at will. I can see there's some ore down here. I'm not going to be able to access it at the moment, but that's called crimtane. It's part of the events in the game are barred until you reach a certain criteria. So crimtane, you need a special strength axe, pickaxe to access, and we just don't have that yet. We're not going to get that for a while. We're just going to dig down a bit further. See what we've got. A lot of tungsten. This is good. Tungsten's a good sort of mid. Well, in the early game, it's a good mid-tier sort of metal you can use for, especially your tools. Is quite good until you get something stronger. That's certainly really useful, and we're getting to the point now where tin is becoming less so, and tungsten and the others are becoming more, which is good. Speaking of tin, I can see some here. Where is that? No, that's lead. Iron, sorry. Iron. You have to excuse me, one of my first Terraria videos, not much of a speaker, so trying to concentrate. Heard of cats, which I can't see at the moment, but I know they're around. Ow! Trying to herd off cat. Ow! Mittens. Stop them from biting me, as well as avoiding enemies, playing the game and discussing the game. Will take a small bit of me getting used to, but anyway, we'll get there in the end. I light the area a bit more. It's really slow going at the moment. Probably knock up a workbench or a furnace and then make the ore into bars and create a decent pickaxe, but for right now I'm just going to do it the old fashioned way. We'll craft stuff when we get back upstairs. When we get back up to the top. This could be dangerous, but picked up some throwing items. I'm not a big fan of throwing items at the moment. I'd rather melee, or if I can get a nice bow, attack enemies with that. Can see some ore over the other side. Yeah, so in the early game, you're just going to be going around and collecting a ton of stuff. I mean, that's what we're going to be doing throughout the entire game, really, is collecting a ton of stuff. But once we've done it, we will get to the point where we can take on enemies without any worries. Haven't even found a chest yet. It's surprising, really, because they're often quite common. And then I didn't really explore the surface much before I had to chicken out and run away from a zombie. Yeah, so I guess really how this series, like I say, will go is how-tos, progression. You can't really do it without spoiling things, but no obvious spoilers. But certainly, like my adventures through this land and crafting, show you the basics, and eventually show you sort of more detailed. I'm gonna fall in some water here, I think. Sorry for it being so dark. Hang on. Okay. Just get away from this area because I don't want to fall into water. See another pot up there. Pots in the early game contain very useful stuff. You worry about them less. Oh, it's a silver. Don't know if I'll be able to mine this. Hang on. Oh, platinum. Okay, platinum is very good. Like I say, that's the equivalent. Oh shit. I might die here. Oh, fuck it. Let's get as much of this platinum as I can before I get mown down by a giant worm. And there's more down here as well. Right, I've got to kill this worm. And then get the rest of this platinum. Where are you? Come on. I'll get him with my auto swing pickaxe as he goes by. Cool. Get as much of this platinum as possible. How much did I get? Oh, another worm. So 43. So each ore, generally, not all of them, take about 4 ores to make 1 bar. And you look at about 10, 12, 15 to make items like swords and pickaxes. I'd really like a platinum pickaxe. That would be my first. That's what you're going to be doing most of all early game, is digging down. So I'd really like that to be my first item. Hopefully see if I can find some more. Some iron down here. Iron's quite good. I mean, it's good to start off with, but it has a lot of uses in the later game. There's certain potions that you can craft that require iron ore. So whilst a lot of things generally tend to fade away, like tin you don't really use so much, and copper just sort of gets stored and like wasted and taking up space, but iron and gold in particular are really useful for potion crafting. Let's see what's down here. We might have to call it a day in a second for the first episode. I might get killed anyway, so. There's traps dotted around everywhere, and there's random pressure plates that you step on and activate. really want to try and find a chest first before I consider going home. Running out of torches, which is fine, because we can always craft some more, but I want the opportunity to find some decent items. Plenty of iron, tin, good amount of platinum for the time being. Just may as well carry on going down. So you can see I've got some topaz. There's various jewels dotted around, diamond, ruby, emeralds, etc. Mostly I just say you can craft things with them. I mostly just end up selling them. I'll stick them in a chest for a while, rack them all up until they get to quite an amount, and then just mass sell them and earn a bit of money. But for now, it looks like we are coming close to a different biome. So right now, as you can see, we've hit the caverns, but within the areas, because there's the two types here. You've got biomes, which is like your grass, your tundra, your jungle area, and your crimson, your corruption. Oh, nice heart crystal, life crystal. Sorry. But there's also these like mini biomes. Like this one is a glowing mushroom biome. You pick up glowing mushrooms from it and other items, which I won't spoil at the moment, but it enables you to progress further in the game if you collect them. Nice to just get into some open space for a change. Okay, so we'll grab this iron, yeah. Hopefully not drop and die off this large precipice. Really want to find a chest so I can teleport back home. This is one of the updates that was released. This is one of the items that was added in an update, the minecart. You'll find these dotted around. Oh, God. You find these dotted around all over the underground. Okay. Just get this platinum. Yeah, and you can craft a minecart that will transport you from one end to the other. You can also create your own minecart tracks. I've not really experimented with it too much, in fact at all, but you do find an awful lot of these randomly placed, randomly generated tracks. Okay. May as well go down. Probably going to end this episode soon, but just generally disappointed I haven't found any decent equipment. This looks like, I don't know. Oh, it does look like, so you get spider's nests dotted around them. No, it's not. Okay. Spider's nests are pretty lethal to you when you, I mean, even when you have the right gear, they can be, oh, I've got no more torches, that's a bit of a pain. Okay. Let's just get this all right here. Looks like platinum. That's iron. Okay. I'll grab the rest of this and then we'll call it an episode. But yeah, I guess thank you for watching for a start. I'm going to try and upload a couple of these a day in half-hour episodes. Yeah, what more can I say, really? I am Isle of Cats, and thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later.